The truth is, we've been talking to the PBC people all along.
So apparently Gervonta was extremely serious when he said he wanted to fight Lomachenko next after Frank Martin, because Bob Arum came out revealing that he has been in negotiations for Lomachenko fight against Gervonta Tank Davis before the Frank Martin fight, and now they resumed negotiations right where they left off with Gervonta Tank Davis' team. So most likely this fight is going to be next, if both fighters agree to terms, which this proves once again, like I always said, when two fighters want to fight, the fight will happen. There is no such thing as a cross the street excuse, this, that, and the third. Here is exactly what Bob Arum had to say on multiple occasions. Check it out.
The truth is, we've been talking to the PBC people all along. So we'll absolutely resume conversations next week after this fight, assuming Tank is successful on Saturday. But again, it won't be like the start of negotiations. We've been talking, or Carl Moretti has been talking with Louis DeCubas for a couple of weeks now about that fight, and hopefully we'll put it together expeditiously for sometime in November. When everything is laid out to Lomachenko and he has the opportunity to fight Shakur or, say, Tank Davis, he's going to make a hell of a lot more money fighting Tank Davis.
Yeah. Well, what about so the fans, and I love talking like this so the fans can get an understanding of the business from your mind, because everyone...
When Gervonta fought Ryan Garcia, Ryan was signed to DAZN, and he's still signed to DAZN, while Tank was signed to Showtime. Now, when Gervonta is about to fight Lomachenko, if he fights Lomachenko next and they agree to terms, that's the second guy Gervonta is about to fight who is signed to another network, ESPN. Tank is currently with Amazon Prime. Both Lomachenko and Gervonta have different managers, different promoters, and they fight on different networks. Even then, Bob said that's no problem. The networks have no problem working with each other, so are the managers and the promoters alike. Under one condition, if both fighters want to fight each other. That's what Bob Arum revealed and exposed about the industry, debunking all of the narratives that fans make to justify why their favorite fighter is not fighting the best. Well, according to Bob, when fighters say he's across the street, call Al Heyman, or he's signed to this network, all of these are nothing but excuses, since time and time again these narratives already got debunked when Wilder fought Fury, Showtime versus ESPN, when Gervonta fought Ryan, Showtime versus DAZN, when Floyd fought Pacquiao, that was Showtime versus HBO. Even when Inoue fought Fulton, that was Showtime versus ESPN. I mean, we already seen all type of different fights on all type of different magnitudes come to fruition. The latest one was Fulton versus Inoue. Before that, it was Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia. Now they working on Gervonta versus Lomachenko, and new network in Amazon Prime working with ESPN. Therefore, I don't want to hear ever again the reason why this fight is not happening, because both fighters are on two different sides of the streets. That already got debunked a million times. What's even more interesting is the fact that Shakur is about to be a free agent and Lomachenko is still signed to ESPN. However, is Lomachenko the one who's getting the fight instead of Shakur? Debunking these narratives even further. Now the Shakur fight, that's another story for another day. Like I said before, if I was in Tank's shoes, I would fight Lomachenko first myself. For multiple reasons, mainly due to the fact Loma has momentum right now. He knocked out Kambosos, and before that, Lomachenko had a classic fight with Devin Haney. Let the Rays fans tell it. they want to call that classic fight a robbery, even though Devin Haney clearly won. So according to the Rays fans and old media, Loma is at the peak of his prime. He had a close fight with Devin Haney to the point where the Rays fans felt as if Loma won. Since Loma didn't get dominated, we know what time it is. They judge by the yin and the yang. On top of that, Lomachenko knocked out Kambosos in one of his best victories yet to become the IBF champion, which will make the Gervonta versus Loma fight a unification. Lomachenko is younger than Usyk. He's younger than Crawford, and he reserved his health, which means Loma is still as good as ever. You best believe Gervonta versus Lomachenko on paper is a 50-50 fight. Even then, I'm still rocking with Tank. I was impressed with how Gervonta beat Frank. I mean, Frank said after the fight that he made one huge mistake, which is he started chilling on the ropes, looking for a certain shot. Well, I won't call that chilling. I think that was panicking. Gervonta was applying so much pressure, he broke Frank Martin, mentally and physically. And that's what Tank brings to the table. Frank wasn't on the ropes because he wanted to or he was chilling to look for a certain shot. Absolutely not. He was on the ropes because he didn't want to. Gervonta put him there. Tank forced Frank Martin to be in the corners. When I went back and watched Tank versus Frank, I was highly impressed. Lomachenko, he excels in feinting you to death in order to draw a reaction. If you react to his feints, it's over. So I want to see how the fight is going to play out with Gervonta and Lomachenko. Tank has great feints himself, and due to his power, you have to react to his feints, or else you might go to sleep. Tank might not feint much, he might not throw much, but when he does land, he makes up for the times he didn't. On the other hand, Lomachenko, he let his hands go more, and he feints his opponents to death so he can get a read on them. Therefore, this has a classic fight written all over it. I can't wait to see it. With that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Last thing, your prediction for you and Loma.
Predictions? You know what I say, man. Ass whooping, man. Ass whooping. Without the ass.
Next question.